should I just do this? I don't know. I'm kind of hating my hair right now, I'm not gonna lie. And then, oh Frank. Hello everyone, welcome back. March is now coming to an end. I can't believe how fast these first few months of 2022 have flown by, but here we are. My March, I really tried to focus on one, finding a job, because if you don't know, I am currently unemployed. I've been very mainly focused on that, as well as going to the gym and just keeping my daily routines and good habits. So let me just show you some of my favorites from the month that have gotten me through. Let's start it off nice and easy with some beauty favorites. Some you might have seen before and some maybe not. Don't judge me, but this is actually really old. I got this years ago. I think it used to be like a very popular blush, and I've kind of just hoarded it since then. I've never really used it because I actually used to hate that it had shimmer in it, but now like shimmer and highlight and glowing is all the craze. Anyways, but it is Milani. It is the Coralina Baked Powder Blush. Really been loving to apply this with a fan highlighter brush. I actually kind of skip highlighter when I use this because it's kind of 2-in-1. So big fan of this. For my next beauty favorite, we have the Supergoop Glowscreen. This stuff makes you so glowy. Most days I just wear this after I do my morning skincare routine and I feel radiant and beautiful and protected from the sun. I actually purchased this a whole year ago and I can't believe that it's been that long that I've been using it, but I still have quite a bit left, but it's worth it and it lasts a long time. Next up for beauty favorites, we have this Body Shop Body Butter. So I actually just purchased this full version here. It's a Satsuma scent. And I'm honestly obsessed. And lastly, for my beauty favorites, we have this baby right here. The brand is by Conair. It's called the Not Doctor. And it's basically the Dyson Airwrap dupe. Not completely, like it doesn't have the curling attachments or anything, but it has a couple of these brush attachments. It has a diffuser as well and a couple normal hair blow dryer kind of nozzles. This is the one that I pretty much use exclusively unless I'm wearing my hair curly, then I'll use the diffuser. But it's really just replaced my normal hair blow dryer. Yes. Next up for favorites, I have a couple of clothing favorites. So it's basically men's clothing in general. So I got these men's jeans from my old roommate. They are definitely big on me, but when worn with a belt, it actually looks very good. Plus this blazer that I got, I thrifted it for I think about $20, Banana Republic. And the one main thing that I have to preach about men's clothing is the pockets. I fit my keys, my wallet, my phone, and lip gloss in my jean pockets. And you couldn't even tell there was anything. There was no bulging. They all fit very nicely. And then it was kind of the same for the blazer. I had worn it separately from the jeans. And again, keys, wallet, phone, lip gloss, all in my pockets without a trace. And this whole outfit kind of looks sick together anyways. So shop in the men's section. Gonna be moving on to a couple book favorites this month. So first one here is The Wisdom of Your Body by Hilary Mcbride. And I could really speak forever about Hilary Mcbride because her content has very well changed my life over the last year. A couple of the biggest takeaways from this book is one, not shooting the second arrow. The idea is the first arrow is the pain or the emotion or the initial impact. And the second arrow is the one that we shoot when we judge those things, when we call it bad, when we shame ourselves for feeling like that or shoulding ourselves, like I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Getting angry at ourselves for pain, which I never knew that that was unhelpful way of being. And I'm only now realizing that and just realizing how it impacted me as a person throughout my life, just shaming myself. So yes, she has just a great view on that and so much more in just like living in your body and not dissociating, I guess, from it and Just realizing that you are your body. It's not just a meat sack that carries around your brain. It is who you are. This has been so great on my healing journey. Next up for books, we have the 5-minute journal. Mine is so faded now because you're supposed to use it for 6 months. I've used it for 6 months. I actually just had my final day of journaling on the 25th. This has just been another great way to help me manage my mental health. So if you don't know about the 5-minute journal, every morning you write down 3 things that you're grateful for, and then 3 things that would make your day great, and then an affirmation. So it can be anything you want. It's just an I am statement. Then at night you write down 3 amazing things that happened today and 1 thing that you think you could have made better about the day. 5-minute journal, highly recommend. I think I'm gonna repurchase this along with their productivity planner. So I'm excited to try that one as well. I feel like this is a great segue to move into my podcast favorites for the month. I think these were actually not released within the month, but I have listened to them within the month. First one here is Brené Brown's Unlocking Us podcast. The episode, Brené on the anatomy of trust. One quote that I took away from this podcast is the definition of trust. So let me read it for you. Trust is choosing to make something important to you vulnerable to the actions of someone else. Distrust is what I have shared with you that is important to me is not safe with you. And then another little blurb is that when we trust, we are brave. That quote just really helps me reconceptualize what trust is, and it really is more a choice than a feeling. Just let that sink in, let it sit with you, do what you need to do with it. Another podcast favorite for me is again the one, the only, Hilary Mcbride. So this podcast, she was actually just a guest on, and it is the podcast Human to Human with Stacey Ike, or Ikey. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. The specific episode is called Recognizing Your Worthiness Now. This is a podcast that I've listened to before, and this month I was going through a really hard time, a really low moment in the month. This was a really great listen when I did not feel myself or my best or good about myself. Let me give you the little synopsis. So in this episode, Stacey chats with her new favorite therapist, Hilary Mcbride, about honoring the voice of our bodies, the trap of shaming ourselves into transformation, and practical affirming habits that lead us into liberation. Again, let that sit, do with it what you will. Let's just finish it off with some music favorites. The artist is the Detangling. I will put a disclaimer here in that their music is a little inappropriate, but it's very catchy. This was introduced to me by a former coworker, and I have some very fond memories associated with some of their songs. I recently started listening to them again, and they have been my go-to leg day gym hits. I've also really been loving this specific song called Surround Sound. So it's by Jid, 21 Savage, and Baby Tate. I'm hooked. It's so catchy, it's so fun. And then last but not least, it's kind of more of a genre. I've really gotten back to my junior high days and Warped Tour days. The pop punk has been in my ears very often. I actually have a playlist on Spotify called Modest Headbangers. So if you want to check that out, I will link it in the description box. Oh my goodness, Frank. Frank needs attention, so I'm gonna end it there. Let me know what your guys' favorites were for this month, as well as let me know if you try anything that you saw in this video, because I would love to know if you guys like what I like. We'll see you in the next one.